Hello, everyone. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day and making some really good trades. And let's dive into the analysis here today. So, as you guys can probably tell, markets eked out another gain today, 38 basis points. Triple Qs pushed up 66 basis points. And again, the Qs for some reason are struggling right now. Not really doing much after this bearish engulfing inside bar price action. Not really doing much at the moment. But the SPY, is pushing all-time highs here. Like we're really close to making a new all-time high again. The Dow Jones is making new all-time highs, up 4 basis points today. The IWM just doing its own thing here. I think it's going to push into this sell area back up to here. I think we had this up here for a while and it hasn't really moved and we haven't done much. We did get a truncation here. Big pullback, very heavy pullback. And you could call this, a 1-2 here, and then pull it back down. And maybe have the third wave go up to these levels since this, it's such a big move up. And then 4 and a 5. So basically something like that played out. Although, you have some invalidation points on Elliott wave. So that's why, if you're just using this different method of charting Elliott wave, then, you could kind of make the case that this would work. But for me, I still have it in this B wave. So do what you want. But essentially, the IWM probably needs to go a little bit higher and then pull back again later on. We'll take a look at the VIX here. So the VIX pulled back today, big time, down 5%. And then still at 18. So again, now that it's coming back down, the market could actually continue to surge higher. If you get the VIX crushed all the way back down to these levels, you'll be hitting SPY 6000 in no time. Oil pulled back pretty heavily today. Had a nice little down day, down 2%. It's below $70 now. We'll have to see if it turns into a sell-off or if it's a 1-2 setup and the lows are in. For me, I think oil needs to sell off. I think oil needs to sell off, and this was a big 1-2 setup, and it's going to go much lower. That's just my personal opinion. You don't have to follow what I'm doing or what I'm saying, but so far we've been calling oil pretty correctly. Just delete that, delete some of this. There you go. That was our sell area. It hit, it reversed, and we never hit this sell area. And this sell area was invalidated, but overall we nailed some shorts. I think we got into some shorts here when then oil sold off, so that was pretty nice. And we'll take a look here at a few other things. So we'll dive in right into the individual names here. So Apple up one. Where's my Apple? My Apple, indicators. All my lines not showing up. Oh, I'm on the wrong chart. Okay, I'm on the oil chart. That explains a lot. Okay, sorry. I'll get back to these charts here. There we go. So Apple, we'll start off with Apple. Apple pushing up 1% today, 1.23%. I think it's still inside of this wave 3. Needs to make some all-time highs. Continuing higher. Microsoft. Almost hit this level here, and then it kind of truncated. So you could still extend the C leg higher. So I think Microsoft needs to go higher, unless it really ended over here and it's done, which you can make the case because there's no divergence, and now it's a 1-2 setup for the downside, which is pretty bearish. And I mean, that kind of falls in line with like the Qs being weak and NASDAQ unable to break its all-time highs, but we don't want to speak too soon because it could break the all-time highs next week. And I still think the semis need to go up. So if the semis need to go up, then, maybe tech still has some life left in it. Google needs to go higher up into this area here, in my opinion, before it's all said and done. He did mark a high, though, a nice high with the C leg, so that's why I'm just putting it like this. That I have it like, I'm just marking the high of the C leg right now like that. But we'll see. And then Meta needs to get its final 5th wave up. Although it is pulling back pretty heavily here, it might be entering a dip buy area soon if it can retest this RSI trend line. Tesla's indeed looking quite weak, not doing much at all really. I think it needs one more low, a bounce, and then in a big drop down into this buy area here. And then NVIDIA, it made its all-time high and hasn't really done much since then. And really, the semis haven't done much since then, since NVIDIA made an all-time high. I think we need that final surge higher in the semis. That's just my personal opinion. And we'll take a look at the TLT. The yields have pulled back today, or did they pull back? Oh, okay. Well, they kind of, chopped about, but they were down only 2 basis points. So I guess the TLT was down on the day, or up on the day. Sorry, and then they had a little bit of a red candle. But the man, this chart here is not looking good. So what I can see right now is a 3-wave move, but I expect it to turn into 5. So I think we need something like this, and then you're gonna do this, this, and then that, and that, and that, and then you're gonna break the low on sorry, on the TLT. You're probably gonna break 82, which means that the yields are going higher for a reason that I can't explain. Probably inflation's coming back is my best guess. That would be my best guess, and that's why we're seeing gold surging to new all-time highs. We're seeing silver, right? Where's silver? Where's my silver at? Right here. Silver absolutely getting this wave 3 moment, or this final 5th wave extension. Let me get on to the smaller time frames here. So you got shallow wave 2. Oh my god, beautiful. Mwah, chef's kiss. Finally playing out. There you go. There she is, boys. Everyone's been waiting for this. I'm happy too. I got plenty of silver, so this is great. Send it to the moon. This is literally going vertical right now. But again, just be aware, we're getting really close to that sell area. We could enter it at any moment, and when we do, it's anyone's game. Then you don't want to be getting into longs, but you're probably going to see a lot of FOMO. But if any pullback that we get should be a buyable dip. Okay, that's just what I want to say. Just want to get out of the way there. And okay, well, on the larger time frames, you have actually erased divergence. So this third wave is now in play. So this is even more bullish than I thought. So this 1-2 pattern, there you go. Wave 3 is extending, baby. Let's go. Let's get it. Back up the truck. No, I'm just kidding. Backing up the truck was down here. You had to load up down here at 22, right? And now, well, it's a little bit late. It's $11 higher. It doesn't seem like much, but it is a 50% increase. We'll take a look at some other stocks here. Let's take a look at Roku. Roku. Oh, I'm on my silver chart again. Sorry. Let's get back to Roku here. I do have a count for Roku. So Roku, I really wanted this pullback to happen. It seems like it's extending inside of this 5th wave. It's got earnings coming up, so that's going to be interesting. Are we going to get a pullback on earnings? Or are we going to get this straight moonshot wave 3 expansion? Because this is a wave 3, right? Don't get me wrong. This is a wave 3 that we're expecting to get out of. And this could be extremely bullish. And you see a massive gap up in Roku, and it goes back up into the hundreds. That can happen. It's up 4% today. Very bullish day. And then you can take a look at Netflix. Netflix surging 11% on earnings here, gapping higher. I don't have a chart for Netflix, but man, this thing is making new all-time highs again. We'll take a look at a few other ones as well. AMD not doing much. I think it's inside of this wave 2, needs to pull back down. Take a look at, not AI, sorry. I wanted to take a look at SMCI. SMCI isn't doing much. I haven't recharted it, but I'm going to do it over the weekend. I think it needs to make a lower low. PayPal's on the move higher. 1-2-1-2 setup. It's going to surge higher, in my opinion. Probably continue up until earnings, and then maybe pull back in wave 4, consolidate, and then higher highs again for a PayPal. And Bitcoin, like, okay, well, so let's talk about Bitcoin, right? So I was really bearish on Mara, but I did say if you invalidate the setup here and you go higher, then you've most likely found your low, and you're not going to get these lower prices. So I can probably confidently say that we've struck a final low here for the Bitcoin miners, and you may not get an opportunity to load up like you wanted to, because you've met the minimum requirements for a Y leg, which is making a lower low. So now you may have found a cycle low here, and if you found a cycle low, then man, this thing is gearing up they just like wound super hard because you got a 1-2 set up right now, and you got another 1-1-2, and this thing is just ripping higher right now. So this can easily go up very quickly, especially if Bitcoin's gonna gap up over the weekend, right? And you're gonna get that gap. They're gonna get that gap on the futures. These these stocks are gonna go straight up, fellas. So, I mean, when I say straight up, they're gonna do like these like 14% days, right? So I can't stress this enough. The hut mining looks like it's inside of this wave 3. I'm looking to maybe even buy some for the portfolio and hold throughout the run here, because I think the Fed and everything that they're going to do is inflationary. It is not going to be deflationary. They might just print so much money. That's why the yields are going up. The long term, they're expecting probably a huge amount of inflation. No one just sees this right now. Nat gas for some reason is just collapsing. I don't know. There's some news on it. Nat gas price falls 4%. But yeah, the Bitcoin miners very bullish at the moment, and Bitcoin in general is also bullish. It's on a very nice uptrend. We'll take a look at. Oh my God! Look at those. Look at those silver miners, man. Silver miners are off to the races. GDX. Take a look at the GDXU microsector. There we go. There we go. Finally hit our target. So I had a more bearish and conservative outcome here, but I think right now what you got going on is probably, man, I don't know. This is very choppy. It's like a 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2 setup. I would have to say it's probably like an extended wave 1, fifth wave. And you're gonna get a pullback eventually, because this is it's very ugly chart. Something like this, which is super hard and difficult to chart when it does something like that. Of course, it is leverage, so there is that factor to take into account. It's probably better to look at the GDX, just the GDX. Yeah, and then hit the target here too. So probably maybe a pullback now and, reload later on, but it can continue higher. This is a really big sell area, so it can continue up. But again, very bullish on the silver miners, gold miners. Gold, it's a long-term hold. The banks, however, not good. Not a good sector to be in my opinion. And I think that's it, guys. I don't really have much else to update. I'll take a look at Intel real quick. I think Intel needs to make a lower low. I think Intel needs to break the lows, but again, in a market that wants to surge higher, you don't want to get in front of that. So we'll see. We'll see how this plays out, guys. Have a good weekend, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.